Hi everyone, my name is Anko, or you can call me Robin. Today I want to talk about a movie that focuses on eco-linguistics named The Lorax. The movie was directed by Chris Renaud. This movie is based on a book, the children's book called The Lorax by Dr. Seuss in 1971. It is a well-known book for children that teach the importance of protecting the environment. This book has been reprinted and republished with many of its variants throughout the years. There are six key terms about ecolinguistics that I will discuss in these discussions. First one are the voice of environment. Second one are framing of industrializations, the metaphors and symbolisms, warning narratives, loss of languages, and silence, moral language. The first thing is the voice for the environment. The voice for the environment in this movie is being shown very clearly through the movies as characters. As the character Lorax is representing representations of ecocentric discourse, as he is the one who's talking for the tree. Has he been introduced as the representative for the trees because the trees couldn't speak for themselves, so he acts as the voice of nature and represents species and ecosystems that cannot advocate for themselves. The second thing I want to talk about is framing of industrializations. This movie also criticized the industrializations of modern people without thinking of their future and thinking of environmental problems are ruining the world. That that industrialization is represented through the character of the Onceler as he tried to please his mother and make an industry by making the tea of his. As he chopped down the tree, his language is always looking for industrialized growth through process and success. Meanwhile, the language of the Lorax when talking about him is always destructive, greedy, and short-sighted. This clash of frames highlights how language choices shape how we view environmental explorations. The third one are metaphors and symbolisms. The trees in this movie is acting as a life and sustainability. The meat is acting as the consumerisms and unnecessary consumptions, and the animals in the story is being represented as the victim of the ecological harm in this movie. These ecolinguistically metaphors create mental models that either promote or undermine ecological value. The fourth one are the warning narratives. When the Onceler tells the kid said a story back to Ted, he didn't see it as a good thing. Rather, he told the kid the story as a cautionary tale from his own experience, and that frames the environmental destructions as an irreversible tragedy. Unless humans change their behavior, this aligns with ecolinguistics ideas about the power of narratives to either support or erode ecological well-being. The fifth one, the loss of language and silence. As nature has been destroyed in that world, the liveliness, colorful language that have in the environment has disappeared. This mirrors the ecological silence when ecosystems collapse that is similar to a real-world phenomenon that called language of nature. Like bird song, river sounds has disappeared in that words. Sixth one, the moral language. In this movie, the Lorax uses words like care, responsibility, respect, and trust are used to frame the sustainable behavior as a moral obligations and a practical one. Ecolinguistics often studies how many morality is linguistically linked to environmental protections. And with that, this is all for my discussions about the eco-linguistics inside of the movie. The Lorax came out in 2012, directed by Chris Renaud. And thank you very much for tuning in and listening to my discussions. Thank you very much.